How often have you heard yourself saying, I hate when a client nags and gives me a hard time? Or, this client is the type I detest? Well, I'd ask you, do you have the luxury to lose a deal? Because in our market, it's not. Since we have a low volume of clients, presenting a high sophistication and demand, which weighs considerable stress on our sales reps' shoulders. That's why we found ways to turn situations in our favor, tips and ruses that we share with you on myforcecourse.com. This short episode exposes some of the clients' types, enabling you to understand the source of their manifested reactions and respond in a measured way, enough to reach the ultimate target of gaining their trust, thus pursuing your passion for concluding trades. We gathered in a rough market 25 years of learnings to share with you in this footage and our courses on myforcecourse.com. Hence, it's to your advantage to grasp as many tips as possible, since it will significantly affect your pitch's results. To be clear, not at any time do we mention, or will we even insinuate, the idea of you diminishing your self-esteem in the aim of pleasing your business interlocutor. Your client will sense this terrible weakness. He will refrain from giving you his trust. So, on the contrary, as a general rule, you'd instead take control of the situation and impose your rule, because we humans love to deal with solid people in the sense that we trust those who are sure of themselves. Before enumerating some of the client's different types, let's define the product of our interest. 1. The habitual buying behavior products, like FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods. The second is those non-habitual buying behavior products, also called luxury products, which all our courses, hence idea sharing videos, talk about it. The significant difference between both behaviors is the client's frequency of purchasing a specific product in a given time. Whereas, if the client is used to or has the habit of buying a product, this will affect their readiness. Hence, they'll decide alone, without the need of your help, nor having to rethink over their choices of suppliers and products. It's a low involvement in a purchase decision. Nonetheless, if they don't, meaning they're non-habituated to purchase a product frequently, they'll eventually need guidance and people to trust, like yourself. For instance, non-habitual buying behavior products affect 95% of people you'll meet. The remaining 5% exceptions are expert clients in your product, making them habituated to buy it. Here are some examples of non-habitual buying behavior products. The second most expensive, thus important good that an individual infrequently purchases is a car, the first being a house. Under those two products in terms of price spreads a long list, like jewelry, watches, mobile phones, house refurbishing services, travel tickets and tours, maintenance services, etc. Based on a fundamental rule in sales and negotiation that we frequently mention, stipulating observe and investigate, aiming to detect your interlocutors about, along with your pitches situations. Let's go through some of the most perceptible clients types and how to deal with them. All is covered on myforcecourse.com under the topic Increase Your Conversion Rate in 6 courses. 1. The provocative is the client who intentionally alters the balance of common sense for an intended reason, specifically to win the deal. The provocative person masters well what you will learn in our courses. They'll fool you by using it to mimic an unbalanced personality, meant to confuse you while trying to understand their nature. This action will give them time to take the upper hand in the trade or negotiation, to impose their conditions. This case is tricky and requires a skillful person to identify and handle. Nonetheless, as an easy and helpful tip aiming to reclaim stability of the deal, in an attempt to regain control, consider changing one of the encounter's parameters as follows. The location, like a different office on the premises or the video conferencing platform. The timing, by taking a break, for example, whether online or in store. Add or remove a participant to the pitch, who can be the manager perhaps. Divert the talk to another product and come back later on to the initial one. 2. An introvert is a person that prefers calm atmospheres. Socializing activities drain their energy, which they remedy by spending some time alone. This character trait has different intensities, varying from high to low introversion. From a sales perspective, leading the pitches session takes more attention and environment control. If this case is presented to you, which is a frequent incident, since introverts are 50% of the population, make sure to move to a quiet area in your shop with your client. Hence, if the encounter is online, take care of the noise around you, like street uproar, a TV set, a loud discussion nearby. 3. The capable is the one who can buy the product, since they have the power to purchase. Moreover, are the most to bargain on the price, and they are good at it, simply because they're comfortable with the amount of money to pay. Accordingly, work on diverting their attention elsewhere to secure a good deal closure. Don't get stuck where they want you to. Move them away towards those many other worries: well-being, resale value, durability, reliability, etc. We call them also the bargain hunters. After all, the client looks in a purchase for a result it brings him, not on the technicality of the ownership transfer. The latter is essential, but not the real aim. 4. The incapable is the one who cannot afford to buy the product, and as a typical indicative pattern, they bargain less. Stay alert to such cases because sometimes they think they cannot afford your product. So they need a push from your side to undertake the trade. It's the core of your work. And here precisely where the bulk of sales success rate resides. As such, the brave and aware seller's role after observing and investigating is of 2 options. 1, if the client can't buy, you should get out of the situation, and fast, to stop wasting the time of both parties. 2, the client is close to the limit of buying. You should use all available resources to close the deal, using offers like discounts, financial solutions, additional benefits, or simply a different product from the lineup, something close to the client's actual need. The seller shouldn't rush things, and as Napoleon once said, "Dress me slowly, I'm in a hurry." 5. The decision maker. It's your right, and you should insist on trading with the person who makes the decision. It's a prerequisite, yet legitimate. To identify this ability during a pitch, you directly ask your interlocutor whenever the opportunity presents itself. Or you smartly pull out this critical information, using your expertise and our suggested out-of-the-box tips, aimed to optimize your results efforts. Remember, our work covers the 360 degree of clients who own the "yes, I approve" when purchasing high-ticket products that don't belong to habitual buying behavior. We identify the alpha member as the herd's leader in the animal kingdom. Claimed and imposed on the other members, this rank empowers its beholder to bear the responsibility of making the decisions that will determine the group's destiny. The same goes for humans, but disguised with emotions such as pride, self-esteem, etc. Therefore, look for those who will make the decision. Look for the alpha member, and don't waste your time with others. 6. The dominant or overtaker is a character that shows independence with a noticeable self-efficiency trait at first encounter. You'll know it because of their emancipated body silhouette, dressed in power colors, example, all black from top to bottom, with confident face expressions and imperial control of gestures when moving in the space. Make them feel that they are the ones who are deciding, but never let go of the steering wheel. Keep control of the pitch. 7. The innovator is a member of the first group of people to adopt an innovation. They only represent 2.5% of the interested population, brave enough to pull the change. They are risk takers, trendsetters, thus very social. interacting or competing with other individuals of the same category. They don't mind adopting modernization, which may fail, and they are referred to as lighthouse customers. Their buying cycle is a high-speed one. That's why brands count on them to launch their new product and consider them opinion shapers. Make sure to highlight their contacts in your clients list. They will save your day. By doing so, your managers and colleagues will count on you to thrust a product into the market, and you'll do it thanks to the innovators, those guys in your list that trusts you. 8. Laggard. These individuals are the last to adopt innovation, focusing on traditions or good deals. 16% of the population typically tends to have a prolonged buying cycle and show little to no opinion leadership. Here also build a list, because finishing a stock is as difficult, if not more, than launching it. So be the person who does it. 9. The procrastinator is the one that won't move forward in the deal. Usually this person has the power to buy, but go through the sales and negotiation session, and you're confident that he won't commit for many reasons, which some are as follows. A. They already committed with your competition. A piece of information that should be accessible to get when you're in the market, since you may know enough on your industries about. B. They're not the decision maker, and you know that the party who decides will not accept, for any reason, to own the product. C. There is a factual impossibility to the ownership of your product, like checking on a car and waiting to reallocate to another country. Bottom line, you're trapped in a pitch where you are providing an effort, wasting your time, and aware that you'll get nothing in return. Trust me, this case has no standard procedure or best practice. I'll share 2 extreme cases that grabbed my attention about 2 out of all the salespeople that I met in many operations. 1, a sales lady that will not, under any circumstance, continue the pitch and will cut it short as harshly as it can get. Despite my several explanations that these kinds of encounters can pay off later, it connotates well with investing in the brand image, but in vain. She's by far the uncontested number 1 seller in her operation. I believe the real reason is her aggressive follow-up, not the procrastinator's hunt. 2, a salesman who is ready to spend long hours on a pitch, thus focuses on delivering perfect presentations. I repeatedly explained that optimizing his deliveries has to do with the company direct investment in wasted time, but in vain. He has outstanding sales result and an excellent client satisfaction rate. So, good luck with your choices. Visit myforcecourse.com and check our courses. You'll get leaner and score higher results. Thank you.